Yo, what is going on, YouTube Toe Tepigs? Today we're going to be doing another deck profile video, taking a look at my current build for the Dark Box deck. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. We'll start with the main attackers in the deck. We have two Umbreon Darkrai and one Mega Sableye Tyranitar GX. So the Umbreon Darkrai is like our main early game attacker, and kind of our main attacker in general. Sometimes use the Tyranitar to clean up, draw some extra prizes with Greed's Crush, or to just close out the game with the Gigafall GX. If we can get the 10 Dark Energy in play, mill the top 15 cards of our opponent's deck, or just for 5 energy doing 250 damage, take one shots on stuff like Pikarom and stuff. It's still pretty cool as well. But sometimes it's a lot of, if we're committing our GX attack to just one shot something, it's a little bit better to use the Dark Moon usually, because not only does it knock out our opponent's Pokemon if we have 6 Dark Energy, so it is one more Dark Energy than the Gigafall would potentially be, so sometimes can't quite get that 6th Dark Energy on the attacker, but they can't use trainer cards next turn. It just knocks them out, and they can't use trainer cards next turn, so usually this guy's the better guy to go with as the thing if we need to take a one-shot on something. So I don't run any Zoroark Greninja in here because I've been finding like the early game, the Dark Lance or the Black Lance is doing just as much as Greninja. Zoroark tag team would be doing early on, and if we ever need anything to one-shot something, Dark Moon GX or the Gigafall GX is about as good as just getting a bunch of energy in play and then one-shotting something with the Zoroark Greninja. So I'm not completely writing off Zoroark Greninja yet. I think an inclusion of one would probably be pretty solid overall. Currently don't have it in the build, but yeah, definitely still a great card to consider as another of the main attackers in the deck. So those are our big guys right there. Next up, we have the Darkrai Prism card, just a way to get extra Dark Energy in play. Don't really attack with him ever, but the ability is super cool. When we put this Pokemon from our hand onto our bench, we can attach 2 Dark Energy cards from our hand to it. So super nice way to accelerate the Dark Energy into play, meaning we don't always need to find the Naganadels as aggressively if we can just get this guy out with 1 or 2 Dark Energy through its ability. Next up is the 2-2 Weavile line. So yeah, 2-2 Weavile. It's going to be our main support Pokemon in the deck. Moves our Dark Energy around. Can also use it as an attacker. Its first attack does 130 damage. Not really going to ever use the Night Command GX, I don't think. We don't really want to ever use our GX attack on the Night Command, which searches our deck for as many basic Pokemon as we want and putting them on our bench. Not great. The Optimal Sneasel, of course. Sneaky Smash Sneasel. He's still around. Definitely want to utilize that guy. Don't really want to be attacking with Sneasel ever, but if we're put into a situation where we open it and it's just kind of the best option, go for it. And then, yeah, Shadow Connect is the main reason we play the Weavile GX. Allows us to move our basic Dark Energy, or is it Dark Energy in general? Basic Dark Energy from one Pokemon to another as often as we like during our turn. Move the energy off our Darkrai Prism when we get them into play, or our Naganadel line, which we do play a 3-3 of. We usually don't ever look to set up all 3, but we generally want to try and set up a 2-2 line of it at some point. So accelerate those Dark Energy into play, keep them in play. So yeah, we do play a 3-3 because we do kind of want to try and set up a 2-2 as soon as possible, especially if we can't ever find our Darkrai Prism or he's prized. We probably need to get a 2-2 set up into play so we can actually keep Dark Energy into play, because stuff of ours will be getting knocked out at some point, and we need to get those Dark Energy back from the discard pile into play. So we do play the 3-3 Naganadel line for that as an option. Thought about maybe including one Naganadel GX with the Stinger GX attack. I think that could be interesting. That'd be an interesting thing to maybe include, and also maybe one of the new Naganadel GXs from the new set. But I don't think the one with the new set, it doesn't really offer up a win condition for us. I mean, still being able to discard the extra Naganadels and Poiples to draw cards would be cool. So I'm not sure about that guy yet. Haven't really tested that out, but this for sure has been working out with the 3-3 Naganadel. So that works for sure. So go with that. We got the one of Ditto in here just to act as a 3rd Sneasel, 4th Poiple, whatever we might need it to be at the time. Nothing too important, nothing too big to talk about there. We got one Dene GX to round out our Pokemon line here. Just some extra draw support through a Pokemon that we can find with Pokemon Communication or Cherish Ball. He's in there just in case we don't have a draw supporter for the turn, or we need to dig a little bit extra deeper on the turn. Got the one to Dene. Next up, we got the Pokemon search cards. We got 2 Cherish Ball, 4 Communication, because the hardest thing to find in this deck is the Sneasel or the Ditto to get into the Weavile. And then we also have 4 Mysterious Treasures. So finding the Naganadel line isn't really too difficult, but the main support guy that we need to set up to be able to move our energy around and attack with whatever we want is the Weavile. Weavile's not too hard to find because we do have the Cherish Balls. The hard thing to find is the Sneasel. So that's why I've been running 4 Pokemon Communication, because it is the most important Pokemon for us to find early on. So yeah, 4 communication in there because it's the only way we have to find Sneasel. Next up, we got the draw supporter line. Currently got 4 Lily, 4 Cynthia, giving ourselves maximum options on for a good turn 1 supporter. And then I have 2 Tate and Liza, which kind of doubles as a draw supporter, giving us a little bit extra higher count on our draw supporter cards, as well as a switch card. Sometimes we need to move stuff around. Most importantly, need to move stuff around when we play up against Pikarom and they attack us with the Raichu tag team and we get paralyzed. Definitely want to have the option to be able to switch our Pokemon in and out and get out of that paralysis. So I got 2 Tate and Liza in here for right now to kind of cover the basis of the switch, as well as being a draw supporter card. Stadium count, 2 Viridian Forest, nothing too special there. I bounce around between 2 and 3, currently sitting at 2. Pretty solid. It gives us a way to discard energy to be able to use charging up, and gives us the counter stadium and a way to find dark energy. So does all that in one stadium card. Sounds pretty good to me. For Acrobike, trying to stay as aggressive as we can on the first couple turns, trying to find what we need, trying to set up as aggressively as possible. Like I said, we kind of, communication is the only way to find Sneasel. Besides potentially Acrobike, dig through our deck a little bit harder. Either find us a Pokemon to use with the communication, find us the Sneasel itself, find us pretty much anything to stay aggressive early on. Can also potentially get us dark in the discard pile. We look at the top 2 cards. One is something that's not a dark energy, the other's a dark energy. Put the dark energy in the discard pile, charging up with an again it out. Got 2 reset stamp if our opponent gets ahead, too far ahead, and we need to check them. We got 2 reset stamp in here. If they get a big hand, or if they're down to like 1 or 2 prize cards, reset their hand down low. Got the option of that with the reset stamp. For custom catcher, I almost feel like the more I've been playing in this format, for custom catcher almost has to be an inclusion in every single deck. Losing Guzma was a pretty big hit to every single deck, and having no option for a gust effect feels pretty bad. So I have been feeling that you almost have to play 4 custom catcher in every single deck. I don't like it because it's really hard to pull off the effect of all 4 custom catcher throughout a game. You can usually pull it off once. I feel like you have to get lucky to use all 4 custom catcher in a game, but you can usually pull off a double custom catcher play at some point. Sometimes it bails you out when you have a low hand size but not much else going on. You can draw a couple cards with it, so that's nice as well. But I really wish we could just kind of not play them in decks, but they almost feel necessary, unfortunately. So we do have the 4 custom catcher in here as well. I don't love it, but I feel like it is essential. And then 12 dark energy to round out the list. Boom. That's it. That's the list. I've been liking it actually quite a bit. I was kind of surprised by how good just the Black Lance from Darkrai Umbreon GX was. It does a lot of damage, that puts on a lot of pressure. Combos pretty well with the custom catcher. You can kind of snipe something and then bring it up and finish it off later on. And then yeah, I mean, it's been working out pretty smoothly. My kind of fear with this deck initially was that it would be a little bit too clunky. The main problem that I feel like I do sometimes have is finding the Sneasel. Like I said, I do have the 4 communication in here, but sometimes you just don't find a Pokemon with the communication, or you just don't find the communication, and then you just don't set up Weavile as aggressively as you want to be able to be aggressive, and you can kind of fall behind a little bit. I mean, that's why we do have Reset Stamp, though. There is the comeback potential through that should we need it. But yeah, that's the only problem I've been finding with the deck consistently so far, is just setting up the Weavile. But once everything gets online and going, the deck has felt pretty good so far. So yeah, I definitely have been liking the Dark Box overall. So yeah, go ahead, give this list a try if you want. Let me know what you guys have been playing in your dark box lists. Once again, do you guys think I'm missing any important cards? Am I missing something that's key in the deck? What do you guys think are other cool tech options in the deck? Let me know in the comment section down below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.